Right now, you're probably never more than a few steps from a hot meal. You can open an app, tap a screen, and in 30 minutes a stranger hands you food that's already cooked, seasoned, and still warm. You can walk to a kitchen, press a button, and a metal box heats your dinner in 90 seconds. You can open a fridge stocked with food gathered from 4 different continents, none of which you had to hunt, chase, or kill. Cooking is so easy now that most of us treat it as the boring part of the day, a chore, an afterthought. But here's something strange. In 2010, archaeologists studying ancient human remains found something they couldn't immediately explain: the teeth. The teeth of early humans were wearing down in a very specific, very violent way, a pattern of damage you don't see in modern humans at all. Something those people were eating every single day was grinding their teeth down to stubs by the time they reached their 30s, and it wasn't meat, it wasn't fruit, it was something we would barely recognize as food today. So what was it? What were humans actually eating before fire, before cooking, before any of this existed? The answer rewrites what you think food even means. Let's go back, way back. For the vast majority of human existence, there was no cooking. No fire under your control, no pot, no pan, no heat. If you were hungry, the world offered you exactly 3 things: plants you could find, animals you could catch, and whatever you could physically tear apart with your own hands and teeth. That's it. That was the entire menu for millions of years, and it was brutal. Start with the plants. When we picture early humans eating plants, we imagine something pleasant: berries, fruit, maybe some leafy greens, but ripe, sweet fruit was rare and seasonal. For most of the year, the plants available to early humans were tough, fibrous, and barely digestible. Roots you had to dig out of hard ground, stems and bark wild tubers that were woody and bitter. This is where those ground down teeth come from. Raw plants like this require an enormous amount of chewing. Not a few bites, hours of it. Scientists estimate that early humans, eating a raw plant-based diet, would have needed to chew for around 5 to 6 hours every single day just to extract enough calories to survive. Think about that. A third of your waking life spent chewing, your jaw, your teeth, the muscles in your face, all of it was being used as a grinding machine from the moment you woke up until the moment you slept. That's the tooth damage, that's the violence in the bone. It wasn't a disease, it was just dinner. Now the meat. Early humans did eat meat, but not the way you're imagining. In the beginning, humans weren't even hunters. They were scavengers. When a lion or a pack of hyenas brought down a large animal, they ate the best parts and left the rest. Early humans waited, watched, and moved in once the predators were gone. What was left wasn't a fresh steak. It was a carcass that had been sitting out, often for a day or more, picked over and rotting in the sun. So humans took what they could get, and often the only part left untouched was the one thing the big predators couldn't easily crack open. The bones. Inside those bones was marrow, soft, fatty, and dense with calories. Early humans used sharp rocks to smash the bones open and scoop the marrow out. Bone marrow may have been one of the most important foods in all of human evolution. Raw meat brought its own problem. Raw muscle is tough. It's chewy, stringy, and hard for the human gut to break down. And meat that's been sitting out carries bacteria and parasites that could kill you. There's evidence early humans tried to deal with this the only way they could, by pounding the meat with rocks to soften it, and by simply having stronger stomach acid than we do today, closer to that of a vulture, able to handle decay that would put a modern human in the hospital. So picture the real menuhars of chewing tough, bitter roots, marrow scooped from cracked bones, raw pounded meat from animals you didn't even kill yourself, and the constant low-grade risk that any meal could carry something that would make you violently sick. This was human life for an almost unimaginable stretch of time. Not years, not centuries, millions of years. And here's the part that's easy to miss. This diet shaped your entire body. Because eating raw food is so inefficient. So much chewing, so much energy spent just to digest. Early humans had enormous jaws, huge teeth, and a long, heavy gut to process all that raw material. A massive digestive system is expensive. It burns a huge amount of energy just to run, and energy spent on digestion is energy that can't be spent on anything else, like growing a bigger brain. For millions of years, the human brain stayed relatively small. It couldn't grow. There simply wasn't enough spare energy. Because too much of it was being burned, chewing and digesting raw food, our ancestors were stuck, trapped by their own diet. And then, somewhere between 1 and 2 million years ago, something changed everything. We don't know exactly how it started. Maybe a lightning strike left a smoldering fire that someone for the first time was brave enough to keep alive instead of running from. But once humans could control fire, they could do something no animal had ever done. They could cook, and cooking changed the rules completely. Cooking is, in a sense, digestion that happens outside your body. Heat breaks down tough plant fibers before they ever reach your mouth. It softens meat so you barely have to chew. It kills the bacteria and parasites that made raw food so dangerous. And it unlocks far more calories from the exact same piece of food. A cooked meal gives you dramatically more energy for dramatically less effort than a raw one. Suddenly, those 5 to 6 hours of chewing dropped to about 1. The enormous gut was no longer necessary, and it began to shrink. The huge grinding teeth and massive jaw started to get smaller, and all that freed up energy went somewhere. It went to the brain. This is the theory that a number of scientists now take very seriously. That cooking didn't just change our diet, it changed our biology. That the controlled use of fire is one of the key reasons the human brain was finally able to grow into the organ that built language, art, cities, and everything that followed. You don't have a giant chewing jaw because you don't need one. A machine cooks your food. Heat does the work your teeth used to do. So let's go back to those teeth. The ones ground down to stubs, the damage in the bone that started this whole question. Now you know what did it. It wasn't a disease. It wasn't bad luck. It was the raw, tough, fibrous diet of a creature that did not yet have fire, a human chewing for a third of every day, year after year, just to stay alive. Those worn-down teeth aren't a sign of something going wrong. They're a record of the world before cooking. A snapshot of the exact moment in our history right before everything changed, because the very next thing those humans figured out, the thing that ended the endless chewing, shrank the teeth, and freed the energy that grew our brains, was how to cook. And every easy meal you've ever eaten, every app you've tapped, every button you've pressed to heat your dinner in 90 seconds is the distant echo of that single discovery, the one that turned a chewing, scavenging animal into us.